Welcome to the Fantasy Cycling Podcast, featuring your hosts, Grant Gardner and John Anderson. Chapeau, you're in the mix.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cycling Podcast.
What's up, John?
Grant, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a little dusty around here.
Yeah, the microphone's got a thin layer of dust on them.
It just had to take about an hour to just see if we knew still how to set up this equipment and dust it off, stretch out the legs. God, man, you look good, dude. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Of course, I've seen you around, but this is the first time we sat down to talk.
Yes.
So welcome back, everyone. If you're tuning in, you're one of the faithful. We've had a really nice break and a hiatus. We both work full time, and I've got full house, so it's nice to have a little break in the off season.
Yes.
But a season is quick upon us, so we're back for the year for 2026.
Yep. It's summer in Australia, and that means we've got some cycling coming.
The tan
soon.
lines are back in Australia. So that means we got to get ready.
And they've got national championships going on. I think the men's race is tonight in the US. It'll be tomorrow morning for them, but men's elite national championships in Australia. So,
dang. It really is upon us. For so long, I've been refreshing PCS and for cyclocross. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
What have you just been hanging out?
Yeah.
Doing some running, a little indoor cycling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to stay in shape in the short winter days.
Yeah. I've been doing a bit of that myself.
You've been Zwifting?
I'm doing a little bit of Zwifting. Watching some YouTube content as I Zwift. It's I hate doing indoor cycling. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not as it was designed.
No. So yeah, if you're listening to this, we'll be sort of getting back into the swing of things. So this may not be the sharpest of shows, but we do have a little bit of an agenda to go through. Yeah. I think first order of business is to talk about and wrap up our league champion results. So for those of you listening to us for the first time or coming back in the 2025 season, we had an open league where we designed a roster of races to pick, and if you came out on top, you win the league. This is on the fantasy. Our kind of we play velo games, and we play
cycling fantasy.
The cycling fantasy app, available on all of the platforms to download. Velo Games is web based, so the league is on the app, and we have a winner, I think, to announce.
Yeah, we'll actually go through the podium.
Oh, please.
So
we're not on it.
Yeah, no. In third place, we have Paul Boyard of Italy.
Okay.
And
nice.
Second place, Top Ciclista of Tonga.
Dang.
Wow. The far reaches of the globe. And then first place, Kiko Riofrio of Spain.
Yeah. The Spaniards have been, been notoriously good at this game.
They have a little home field advantage on the Cycling Fantasy app. It is a Spanish-based app.
Yeah.
So they've been in the game for a while, but congrats to Kiko. If you listen to the podcast, please send us a DM on Twitter or Instagram, or even comment on Spotify.
We'd love to send you something or be in touch, or even maybe have you on. I don't know. That would be cool. It might be hard with I'm not sure how your English is, but let's get you on.
Or the time zones. But yes, we would love to hear from you. If you have any insider tips that you'd like to share, please let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for us, Grant, there's a couple topics to talk through. And I think we probably need to just start with who the heck is riding for what team. I mean,
yeah, I need to wrap my head around who's where, what they're wearing, and what they're called.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming out of the college football season here in the States, and the transfer portal
is very active.
Is very active at all times, and it's complete chaos. And I feel like you just jump from that right into another deep end, because cycling and pro cycling, the transfer market and the transactions are setting records. I think we had 3 huge transfers, more than that, and they set some records on buyouts and the amount of money involved. So the sport's definitely evolving.
Yeah, I want to go through like the top 5 teams that benefited from transfers, but I think the biggest transfers were Remco going to Red Bull from Quick Step, Oscar Onley going to Ineos from Picnic Postinel, and then Juan Ayuso leaving UAE for Lidl Trek.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think, surprisingly, I think the big winners was Ineos.
Yeah, I was gonna pick your brain on that. Like, who out of those 3? I mean, if you skim through them, the Evenepoel one, you know, it's as much a culture sort of dynamic shift for them. That's a huge superstar that they're signing, a real shot in the arm. The strategy changes are potentially interesting as well, for the future for them, with him as a GC leader, and then with who's the young chap,
Florian Lipovitz.
Sorry. So how will they play those 2 talents? Obviously, Evenepoel was like a megastar, so that's a megastar coming to like a brand that's kind of megastar focused. Ayuso is interesting. You know, he's been on UAE for many years. There's been lots of blogged about and talked about drama. Is there drama or is there not? He's not having to kind of compete with other GC hopefuls. It would be his show. So that's the dynamic there. And then Onley, which you're saying you think is the big win.
Yeah.
For Ineos. They've got Geraint Thomas, who's retired, going into a team lead role.
Yep.
Who paid the most, you know?
I think they had to shell out a lot for Onley.
Really?
I'm sure Remco was just expensive on paper, but it was probably the most like exhaustive of resources for Ineos. Like, I think Red Bull knew they wanted to sign Remco and they were ready for it, and Ineos was like, dang, we got to do something about this young British lad.
They almost couldn't let him go. I mean, he fit so nicely.
So Ineos, and if you go on Pro Cycling Stats, they have like the transfer summary, and then it'll tell you how many UCI points they netted based off the transfers. So Ineos, based off who the UCI points scored last year, they're going to increase by almost 4,000 UCI points by adding Onley, Kevin Vauquelin, Sam Welsford, and Dorio Godon. And of course, they lost some points by like losing Geraint Thomas to retirement and a few other riders, but they came out big winners. I mean, we've talked about Onley and Vauquelin a ton on this podcast. I think they're serious GC contenders.
And Godon.
Yeah.
Godon's really been a favorite fantasy pick of mine.
Yeah. Especially in those like classics or like small stage races or, French Cup Series races.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam Welsford, great sprinter. So yeah, very, very interesting. And interesting that they kind of replaced Caleb Ewan with Sam Welsford.
Another Aussie.
Yeah, another Aussie sprinter.
Yeah, and Kevin and Dorian, both French. So now they've got a nice little French contingent on the team.
Yep.
Mixed in with that kind of British base. And yeah, I mean, the opportunity to snap up an Oscar Onley, like a British GC developing rider like that with a lot of potential, hard to pass up for them. And I think there's going to be a lot of excitement. So there's been some comments about by Thomas, like, okay, we've had this hiatus, time to get back to winning Tour de France, which is what that team in the old Sky days was just built upon, like one goal to rule them all. Yeah, sole focus team.
Red Bull also adding Arne Merit and Gianni Vermeersch. I think those will be interesting support riders and guys in the classics too to mop up some points. Lidl Trek, I mean, they're gaining Juan Ayuso, but they're also losing Jasper Stuyven, Juan P. Lopez, Tim de Klerk, and Dan Houle, who I feel like were a big part of their team over the last couple seasons. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, they had to free up some salary space to get Juan Ayuso. I think he'll do well there, but it'll be interesting to see what it's like without those veterans on the roster.
Decathlon, some big
names
changes there too.
Yeah, which they're going to be called Decathlon CMA CGM.
We're
just going to call them Decathlon.
We'll call them Decathlon, yeah.
They picked up Olaf Koy from Visma. I feel like that's a huge signing. Also Tobias Andreessen from Picnic Postinel, another sprinter. And then two really interesting names, Matthew Riccitello, the American, and Tesh Benut, the classics veteran.
Where's he coming? Where was he before? Where'd they pull him from?
He was at Visma, right?
He was, yeah. So two Visma riders coming over.
Yep.
I like that for Riccitello.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been slowly just adding. Decathlon has been adding some really good riders, and of course they have a lot of great French riders. They have the young Paul Seixas, who everybody's like, oh, he's the next French Grand Tour winner.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of excitement around that team for sure. And then the last one I wanted to hit on was Movistar. So they added Kjan Idebroeks, which I thought is very interesting. This guy's been a bit of a journeyman. He's gone from
being so young, he certainly has.
From Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe to Visma Lisa Bike, and now landing with Movistar, which I think is interesting as a non-Spanish rider. Like, finding your way to Movistar like that is interesting. Normally he would have, I don't know. It's like, usually it's all the Spanish riders that want to find their way to Movistar eventually. Kind of like they're adding Roger Adria and Raul Garcia Pierna, Juan P. Lopez, kind of either Spanish or Latin American riders. But interesting that Kjan is headed there. So we'll see how that turns out for him. Maybe
I mean, he's good. I mean, it's just
getting away from the spotlight of Visma and Red Bull might be good for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
And someone else I'm going to be, especially from a fantasy perspective this season, keeping an eye on Quick Step. So they got rid of Remco, or they lost Remco, however you want to look at it. And they seem to be refocusing on the classics. So they added Jasper Stuyven, Lawrence Rex, Dylan Van Barl, Alberto Dainese. Older guys, but some huge names that I think could really benefit their younger talent too, like Paul Meunier. So I don't know. I think it's a really exciting season for Quick Step.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost good to hear you kind of go through and hear, it's like start accessing a part of my brain again of like, who are these riders? And it's like you go through the whole season last year and you like learn so much from it, and then to kind of check out and then focus on other things. You're going to kind of like refresh your memory on who are the names that were emerging. So what have you been? I mean, do you want to talk about name changes too? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's kind of funny. Just to like talk about refocusing your brain. It's like
that's what's also really difficult. Like the kits change a little bit, and then the names always change every year.
So Alpecin de Koenig is going to be Alpecin Premier Tech. You'll recognize Premier Tech from, they used to be with Astana. Then they were with the team in the Middle East that is no longer. And now they're with Alpecin. So I think that's an interesting move. They clearly are very invested in cycling, and apparently they make agricultural products. They're a Canadian company, so that's big for Belgian teams. Decathlon so it's kind of sad. They got rid of AG2R, Le Mondial.
Ooh,
which is just
like
like
an era.
A staple, like in a staple in cycling sponsorship. You know,
For years.
The brown bibs, like,
man, I like the brown bibs too.
Yeah, so they're adding CMA CGM. Boring. A global player in sea, land, air, and logistics solutions.
Hey. This is slide 8. If someone randomly is reading out their name of their brand and what they do. And
if they're going to write the checks, right? If they're going to sign Olaf Koy, more power to them. Groupama, FDG, FDJ, however you want to say it. They added the word United to the end of their name. Cause
like a football team?
Kinda, I guess they've got this sports program they're trying to emphasize with the women's team, the men's team, the development team.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
I often think that is something that's lacking in pro cycling is because the sponsors change so much, like is just some kind of name to kind of like unite it all.
Yeah.
I think weirdly enough, Red Bull kind of.
Yeah, they seem to have.
They seem to have a little bit of that. Like you'll have. I mean, like think about an F1. Like there's the Red Bull team. And like.
I think the biggest news in the sponsorship teams front is the merger of Lotto and Intermarché Wanty. So those teams actually combined, not just a sponsorship change. And that is going to be Lotto Intermarché. That's going to be very confusing. Are
those both grocery stores?
No, Lotto is lottery.
Oh, okay.
Intermarché is, a grocery store.
Hey, the two staples of modern life right there.
Yeah, gambling and food. And then, of course, Israel Premier Tech is no longer. They're going to be called NSN Cycling Team, which means never say never. It's like a sports entertainment company. Be interesting to see how that plays out. And then we knew this was coming, but Q3 6.5, the home of Tom Pidcock, is now going to be Pinarello.
He's got his bikes back.
Yep. Pinarello Q3 6.5. So, yeah, that's all the
dentists around the world rejoice.
And they have some pretty sick kits.
I like,
kind of reminiscent of like Aqua Blue Sport, if you remember them.
Yeah. Any big winners and losers on the kit front for you? I like the Sodal Quit Step kit.
I do too. It kind of maintains the same theme that it's not like confusing anymore, but it kind of adds a little pizzazz with like the neon.
Alpecin, there's no really big changes there. So it's just,
I don't love
kind of chuggy for me. The Alpecin, the Visma kit.
But if you win, it doesn't really matter what kit you're in. I really don't love Red Bulls. Like it especially looks bad when you've got like a national champion or like like Remco's got his gold sleeve for the Olympics, and then he's got like the world championship stripes on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And then he's got all these other extra parallelograms and random shapes and stuff. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
I think decidedly the worst one is Ineos.
Looks like a traffic cone.
Yeah.
Looks like road furniture. Like, can't park here, mate. the Groupama is actually kind of nice, but I don't like it when you have two different colored sleeves.
Yeah.
Movie Star is kind of, I need to see like a lot of these in the peloton. Movie Star is kind of zany. NSN is too zany for me. It's like,
yeah, it looks like a club team.
Yeah. We'll have to see them all on the road.
I'll tell you what was really tragic is that George Hincapie's new team, those maroon,
yeah, these guys. Is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Adventure, what are they called? Modern Adventure Pro Cycling.
Yeah.
They're a pro team, not a World Tour team.
Yeah, of the pro teams, I really like Kern. I think hands down my favorite though, and these might be my favorite kits.
Why are the pro teams better than the World Tour
I really
team?
like the Pulte. The Pulte kit.
That one's classic. I love it.
The Pulte kit is sick, mate. I love it.
Kern is great. Pulte's great.
The Q36.5 kits are kind of cool too.
Also, what are they even called now? That Italian team, Solution Tech Nippo Raleigh. That the bottom right there. They're like, or the top right. They just cram as many logos as they can.
Also kind of like that.
Yeah. It's just, they're doing the meme.
It looks like a scrapbook that you do in like elementary school where you're just like.
It uses much different construction paper as you can.
Grant, I've been trying to, I want to shout out a couple of resources for the listeners. I've been trying to slowly dust off the cobwebs. It's been, and I'd love to hear from you too of what resources you've been enjoying. I know you're a big pro cycling stats guy.
Yep.
Shout out PCS. I've got 3 to share that I like.
Okay.
So, first is a well-known resource. I got to give a heck of props to Lantern Rouge Cycling Podcast. They're like top of the game, I think, right now in terms of content they're putting out. And what's interesting and like the arc of where they've come is, it started out, they're so strong in their knowledge and talking about tactical matters, way stronger than like we could ever dream to be on talking through the tactics and the breakdown of a race. That's really your go-to place throughout the season, I think, for that kind of thing. And I think we kind of interact with that topic more so as fans, whereas they've got some real knowledge over that. But what's been really great, and the resource that I've been listening through slowly, and it's kind of a lot, so I've been making my way through it slowly to emphasize that again. But they've been doing the team breakdowns, usually about an hour, sometimes longer on each of the teams. And so you really get to go into the details of that. And I think what's really interesting about where their discussions are more and more leading is on like the business of the sport of pro cycling as you listen to them, where they're debating, each individual rider, what their values are, what should be, what if you were to put yourself into the pants of being the team manager, what would be the moves that you would be making, and really debating and discussing the merits and the pros and cons on a lot of these moves from both like looking at the team's strategy and like their long-term plans and what those should be. I mean, they just get into all that. And I think that is pretty fascinating. So give those a listen if you're interested in that. The second is, let me see here. It's a random Twitter account on X, Cycling Predictor SPT. So I think his handle is @cycling PRDPT. And he did in December a thread that I really liked and read pretty closely, called Lesser Known Riders That I Am Going to Hype Up. So he pulled out, a short list of some pretty obscure, small name kind of riders that are on various teams and talked about, where there was potential or what to look for them in the next season. Some of these guys are U23, standing out in their national programs and kind of fighting their way into the pro peloton. And I think what's cool about it is and you're seeing this more and more in the media landscape, is people paying attention to fantasy cycling.
Yep.
Which we're excited about. And he kind of, even in a lot of that content, will talk about, hey, this could be a good dark horse fantasy cycling pick. So if you're looking for 200 credit riders, it's a really good thread to kind of, to dive and mine, if you want to look at that. So again, his handle is @cycling PREDPT. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful on Velo games too, because I feel like it's easier to pick some random, because the points don't change as often on Cycling Fantasy app, and it's easier to pick like that random guy that's obviously been going well lately.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get on Velo games and it's like a grand tour and it's like, man, I need somebody that's like 2 credits, and I don't know who any of these people are. Keeping your ear to the ground of like development and who like the young guys are, I think is super helpful.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody else you're looking at?
Cyclinguptodate.com is like, I don't know how many of these articles are written by AI, and they've got names next to them.
Yeah.
It kind of scrapes,
it's more
content,
like an aggregator.
Yeah, it's like a Drudge Report.
Yes.
Style,
no frills.
No frills. You don't know, the articles, the editorial process may not be super rigorous. But if you want to go out for gossip or headlines and just check in on what's happening, and they'll pull in from all of the other more reputable sites, and they'll link them, and you can just get a sense of what's going on out there. And I like that. I found that to be I use that just to kind of as like a site that I would check pretty regularly throughout the year. And you get all kinds of stuff on there. You get like real racing news and results, and then you get sort of like rumors and gossip and drama. And it's pretty good for English language readers. So I think a lot of European audiences have been getting this kind of stuff for a while, and you get this in kind of English language. So that's my last kind of shout out.
There's a couple of fringe accounts on X that provide a lot of predictions. I think most of them are probably interested in actually betting on the sport, but you can still use that information to make your fantasy picks. You can
do that for our podcast too, but you just have to give us a cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to send us a cut.
There's a guy named Mosh Bosch.
Yeah, dude, I like that account too.
His avatar is like this green troll ogre thing on a bike. But he goes through like every race, even like the super small races, and stars like the riders. So it's a good like gut check of like, oh, I didn't think about that person, or
confirmation too.
Yeah, confirmation bias. So it's like, I like that account. And then there's a couple of other ones similar, like Cycling Oracle, or just any other kind of, I feel like once the season really gets going too, there's a couple of folks that just start posting a lot around races. There's a guy named Patrick Blake that does Velo Games previews. He does YouTube videos. So check him out. And yeah, I feel like once you start following a couple of people on X, the algorithm will reward you with other preview content. So
yeah, and tune in here too, because I mean, we kind of take all of that in to consideration and kind of try and curate.
Yeah, please don't stop listening to this podcast.
We try to curate what we think is the smarter kind of advice or insights, and kind of bring them all here. And we'll be back to our sort of mostly weekly pods. And what have we got coming up, Grant, to wrap up this show? What have we got coming up on the calendar?
Yeah. So next week we will properly preview the Tour Down Under.
G'day.
So That one's coming up.
Malunga Hill, mate.
That'll really kick off the season in Adelaide. And then it'll come fast and quick after that. So
sweet. So tune in here. You can follow us on X and Instagram. The handle listen to FCP. So number 2 FCP. And you'll probably listen to this on either the Spotify or Apple platform, but you can also listen to our audio on YouTube. And thanks as always for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.